Hey everybody, here's the comic book reviews for this week. First off, I'm not going to review this, but this is just something I picked up. This is Cable and Deadpool, Volume 7, Separation Anxiety. I now have the full series of Cable and Deadpool, so that's pretty cool. Highly recommended. If you enjoy the new Deadpool series, you should check this out. This was his series before that. And before that, he had another series, which you can find collected in Deadpool Classics Volume 1 and 2 so far. Hopefully there'll be a Volume 2 sometime soon. But anyway, I only have 3 books to review this week, and one of them is the latest issue of Deadpool. This is Deadpool number 16, rather. As you can see, it sort of has the playing card design with Cyclops and Deadpool. Deadpool wants to join the X-Men, and of course, Cyclops is not really thrilled with the idea, although, he turns him away right away, but then Wolverine and a couple of others convince him that you can't just turn this guy away. You might want to let him in just to keep an eye on him, even if he's not actually going to be in the X-Men. Then we go to this guy. He's the father of Mercury, who I guess is one of the newer X-Men. I haven't read X-Men in a long time, and I don't plan on doing it anytime soon, so I'm not familiar with the character of Mercury. But anyway, this is his father, and he's having this whole media circus about visitation rights and such, making like it's a big deal. And it turns out Cyclops does some investigation, and it turns out that Norman Osborn seems to be somewhat behind that. Deadpool, it's hilarious the way he rolls. I mean, they send Domino there. I guess Domino's in the X-Men now. I don't know what that's all about, but they send Domino to talk to him, and at first, it looks like they're going to get into a fight, but then he makes her crash through the glass ceiling, so to speak, onto this just huge pile of pancakes, and then they eat pancakes together. It's very funny, and of course it's bizarre. He made his own X-Men uniform. I don't know. They actually had a uniform that they had made for him in Cable, Deadpool and Cable, and Deadpool wants to kill this guy who's like Mercury's father, I guess to get them off their back or something. I don't know. And his next issue. So, this is a pretty good one. Highly recommend it. Next we have Superman World of New Krypton number 8. You remember last issue, they're now in a conflict with the Thanagarians. The Thanagarians and the Kryptonians are sort of at war here. They're having a big battle. And most of the first part of this issue is taken completely from the Thanagarians' point of view. Obviously they see themselves as justified because the Kryptonians started it. General L, or as we would call him, Superman, he has no idea what started this, but he has his own theories. He doesn't say what they are. They actually wind up beating the Thanagarians, but then saving their lives, which gets him enough in their good graces to stop the conflict. And then the Thanagarians help them with the moon that they're trying to move towards Krypton. There's an interesting little aside about how moving the moon from Jupiter to New Krypton will cause, the whole galaxy to be destroyed in something like 5 billion years. That they're like, by that time the sun will have destroyed anything anyway. So it's kind of amusing that they even thought to look into that. The end of it, we have Gem of the Saturnians appearing. Actually, when I first saw him, I thought it was Despero, but that's Gem. Not really a great issue, but not a bad one either. I would recommend it. I mean, just because it's interesting to see everything from the Thanagarians' side. Other than that, it seems to be sort of transitional issues, so we'll see what happens there. Finally, we have Batman and Robin number 5. We do find out who the Red Hood was, or rather is, in this issue, and it is, of course, Jason Todd. I was kind of hoping that it wasn't, but it is indeed Jason Todd. And you can kind of see his unique personality and everything. The interplay with him and Scarlet is very interesting. She's a very interesting character. Much more interesting than him, anyway. There's this whole part, of course he's at odds with Batman and Robin. There's this whole part where he takes off the hood, and you see what he looks like now, and they've given him red hair again, and he explains to Scarlet that he always had red hair, and that Bruce Wayne made him, here it is. Bruce Wayne made him, dye his hair to look more like Grayson. But I thought that was the pre-Crisis version of Jason Todd, who was only in a few stories and had pretty much the same personality as Dick Grayson, and then was wiped from continuity during Crisis on Infinite Earths. And then after that, they reintroduced Jason Todd, and I thought he didn't have red hair, but I don't remember too well. And he says he got the shock of white hair, the white streak in his hair, from the Lazarus pit that resurrected him. I think that's weird because, when he was resurrected, he had the black hair that we were used to seeing on him, and he's had it ever since then. So I don't know if he was continually dyeing his hair up until now. Then there's this whole part about a villain eating people's faces. Kind of reminds me of like Silence of the Lambs, very bloody issue in that sense. And then in the end, Jason Todd gets shot, twice. Once in the head. We don't know if he's alive, but this fucking flamingo guy is here, so we'll see what happens. I thought the art kind of took a dive in this. It's no longer being drawn by what's his face who drew All Star Superman. What is his name? Frank Quietly. He's not drawing it anymore. Instead, they got this guy Philip Tan, and he's all right, but I don't know if he really fits the style of this book. I really obviously preferred Frank Quietly's work on it, but then again, Quietly has had sort of a history of not being able to keep to deadlines, so we'll see. Definitely, out of the 3 books, surprisingly, the best was Deadpool. I would say the worst was Superman, World of New Krypton, but it wasn't a bad book. It was just the worst out of these 3, only 3 to get. So, I'll see you next week with more reviews.